We are here for the bench press portion of the morning session of Rise of the Kilonator. On the bench right now is Cedar Mast. Cedar is not going to get that lift. The three commands in bench press are start, press, rack. If the lifter jumps any of those commands, they will get a red card. You can see Rachel there on the left moving the weight. There is a rule actually as to which way the weights face. So one side of the weights have writing that's either a Lico or whatever the brand of the weight is. And the very first weight has to be facing in. And then every subsequent weight after that must be facing outward. And the reason for that is so that the referees can read the weight and see what's on the weight. Now, most of them pretty much know by size and color, but that's a reason. I also think it has something to do with marketing a little bit. But Susan Buckman is up. She is a master's lifter. She is over 75 years old. Her actual age, yeah, she's 75. And she has just started powerlifting. She's amazing. That's Rachel there and another spotter and loader giving her blocks, which are allowed in the bench. They are allowed, blocks come in about 5 centimeter increments and up to 20 centimeters. Okay, she locks her elbows, which is required, gets the start command, gets the press, and rack. Those are the three commands. Start, press, rack. Looked good. Let's see. Yep, 3 white lights for Susan. And her goals for this meet are just to do better than her previous lifts and have fun. The bench press has probably more rules than all the others. The lifter cannot have their hands wider than 81 centimeters total. They have to have their shoulders and buttocks on the bench and head on the bench the entire time. The start position can't fundamentally change from the final position. This is Becky Novak. Becky is attempting 47.5 kilos. That looks good. The elbows have to be locked at the beginning and the end of the lift. There are 3 referees. Each referee at the beginning of the until the lifter is ready will have their arm up in the air. And when each referee feels the lifter is ready, they will lower their arm. And then the chief ref will call the start command. You can see that Carrie there had a liftoff, which is completely allowed. But the liftoff has to be by somebody working at the competition who's under the umbrella of the competition. They can't have their own coach or liftoff person come do the liftoff. We used to be able to do that, but it just creates too many problems and there's too much liabilities for that. Angela Sheff is up. Angela did not do the squat, so she's just doing what we call a push-pull. And so she will be benching and squatting. She's also using blocks. Angela is, oh, she's bench only. I'm sorry, she's not a push-pull. She's just a bench only. And her goal is to do her best. And you can see she's wearing wrist straps, which are allowed as long as they're within the length and width specifications. And she gets all three commands. Lifts looks good to me. A ref say 3 white lights. Good lift for Angela. Up next, May. So our morning flight A is juniors and masters. So we have sort of two ends of the spectrum. The weight classes for females, there's a 44 kilo weight class, a 48 kilo weight class, and that looks like a good lift. And then for both male and female, our weight classes are 52, 56, 60, 67 and a half, 75, 82 and a half, 90, 100. And for the women, it just becomes 100 plus. For the men, they have 110, 125, 140, and 140 plus. And those are new, well, they're old and new. The USAPL has separated from IPF, and so that's the International Powerlifting Federation. And since that separation, USAPL went back to their original weight classes. And this is Alana Keeley. And Alana looked like she had a really strong bench there. She's currently a railroad conductor. And she's a master's lifter, and that was a good lift. Okay, next up is Lexi Berquist. Lexi's a junior. The junior age class is 20 to 23 years old. Lexi's goal for this meet is to get experience. Her best bench is 145 pounds. It looked like she got that pretty easily. Up next is Janet Duncan. Janet is a master's lifter. So in USA Powerlifting, there are different age classes, divisions as well. The open division is 14 years old to 114. Anybody can compete in the open division from age 14 on. However, there are different age groups of which people can compete if they are in those age groups. For example, teens from 14 up to 19. The junior division is 20 to 23. And then the master's divisions start at age 40, actually age 39, because it's the year in which you turn 40. It looked like she had a tiny bit of up and down movement on that, but let's see what the refs say. Refs say, and I know Janet can get that. Yeah, two of the refs saw that. It's a tiny bit up and down. That was just a glitch on her part because that's an easy way for her. She'll come back and get that, no problem. So the lifter can, if the lifter wants to, the lifter can compete in, say, Masters 1 and Open. They just have to pay 2 entry fees, or however the meet director chooses to do it. But anyone from age 24 to 38 has to compete in Open. That's the only thing they can compete in. All right, she's asking for a lift off. That looks like a good lift, the referees say. I don't know what the referees say. We're having a little bit of a delay on the internet here today, which is why we're recording instead of live streaming. Rose's lift was good. Shauna Allen is up. Shauna is a raw master 2, so she's age 50 to 54. Within the masters divisions, there's also A and Bs. So the first 5 years of the decade are A, and the second 5 years of the decade are B. So 2A is 50 to 54. Looks like a good lift for Shauna. Yep, good lift. All right, to round out our first benches in Flight A, we will have Nikki Young. Oh, no, we won't. I missed Holly Scott. I apologize. Holly Scott and then Nikki Young. The blue discs are 20 kilos. Bar is loaded. So for the bench, the feet have to be flat on the floor or on the blocks. The elbows have to be locked before the lifter will get the start command. And in order to get the press command, the bar needs to be motionless on the chest. That looked like a good lift. Let's see. Yep, good lift for Holly, 72.5 kilos. All right, now we're up to Nikki Young. Prior to the meet, lifters were given an opportunity to fill out a bio, and many of them did, some didn't. But if I mention things about a lifter and not another one, and you're wondering why, that's because that lifter might not have done a bio. Nikki did a bio, and Nikki's goals for today is just to have fun and maybe get a bench state record. Right now she's going for 75 kilos. Her best bench is 190 pounds, so she's a little under that, but she's only on her first, so she's got plenty of ways to go. And there's lots of different ways to set up on the bench as well. Some people have a really, really big arch. Some people have wider feet stances, narrower. You'll see a lot of variety on how Women especially tend to get pretty big arches. That was a good lift for Nikki. Back to the top of the order. All right, Cedar is going to try 32.5 again. She missed that on her first. Her best bench is 85 pounds, so I'm sure she can get this. Cedar's been powerlifting for 2 years now, off and on. Her mom is the one who originally encouraged her and helped get her going. All right, bar is loaded. From the time the chief ref calls bars loaded, the lifter then has 1 minute to get the start command. Now, all of these are raw lifters that we have today. There's also equipped lifters. And, okay, she missed her press command. Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. She's not going to get that. Hopefully she can come back and make some adjustments. If the lifter beats the command, like they start pressing before they get the press, or they start before they get the start command, they will get what's called a yellow card. The lifter either gets a white light or a red light, and the white is good lift, the red is no lift. However, with the red, there are certain colors of cards. We call them cards because it used to actually be a card that the referee would have to put up in the air. The yellow card is the catch-all for pretty much every infraction that's not the red or the blue, and I'll explain to you what the red and the blue are when I see them. We've already had the squat this morning, but in the squat, the red card is purely depth, and blue is up and down movement, failure to lock the knees, and then yellow is everything else. So here we have I'm going to guess, our oldest competitor here today. She's fabulous. She's 75 years old. She just started powerlifting. Her best bench is 40 kilos, so this is going to beat that. She looks like she got that, so let's see what the refs say. Yep, good lift. And that's a PR for her. It's fantastic. She's only been powerlifting for 2 months. This is just craziness that this woman is doing this. 75, powerlifting 2 months, she's fabulous. Next up is Becky Novak. Becky works for the Federal Office of Head Start as a grant specialist. Her best bench is 50 kilos, so hopefully she will match her best here. Elbows have to be locked to get the start command. A little bit of a grind, but it looked good. Let's see what the refs say. Good lift. This is only Becky's second meet, so she's doing pretty well. Carrie Ellis is up. She's taken a 5-kilo jump from her first. Her best bench is 120 pounds, so this will beat that. She's almost at body weight. Or she might actually be at body weight. Yeah, just almost to body weight. Yeah, looks pretty good to me. Let's see what the refs say. Lift is good for carry. And that looks like a PR, so good job. She's only started a couple of months ago as well. I love to see people coming in and competing after just a short period of time. Powerlifting is so much fun, and it really is ageless. As you can see, there are 20-year-old girls here, or I guess I should say women, 75-year-old women. It's really an amazing sport. This is Angela. Angela's a bench only, so you will only see her on this bench press today. Angela made her first attempt at 57.5. So she's gone up 5 kilos. She's grinding, I didn't see any downward movement, so she should get that. And the refs say, good lift. This is her first meet, and her best bench in the gym is 135 pounds. So I think she beat that. She got that. Fantastic. She power lifted 25 years ago, but just got back into it in the last 6 months. All right, up next is May. Bars loaded for May. Now you will see that there's some lifters who get lift-offs and some who don't. It doesn't matter. It's purely a lifter preference. Yeah. I don't know if she shook that off or if the safety first is always safety first, but sometimes the referees could take the bar too quickly, and if that were the case, which I don't think is the case here, I think she shook them off, but they would get a relift at the end of the flight if, in fact, it was a lifter error. And it happens every once in a while, and that's okay. Safety first. And if the lifters feel that the lifter is in danger, they're going to take the bar, as they should. This is Alana Healy, and she's going back to school in August to get her bachelor's in psychology. Looks like a good lift. Good lift for Alana. All right, Lexi Bergquist is up at 62.5. A lot of four people doing 62.5 here. Lexi's best bench is 145 pounds, so this will be 138 pounds-ish. She's been lifting for over 6 years, but powerlifting for only about a year. Looked like a good lift. Let's see. Good lift. Good job, Lexi. Up next is Janet. All right, Janet missed her first at 60, and I think that was just a glitch for her. She has gone up 5 kilos to 65. Janet has asked for a liftoff, except someone's standing right in front of my camera, so I will leave that. Looks good. I think she fixed that glitch, whatever it was. Yep, she did. Good job, Janet. Up next, Rosa Mays. Rosa got 60 on her first, and she is doing 65 for her second. She's a high school PE teacher. Okay, bars loaded. The lifter's not supposed to get on the platform until they hear bars loaded. And then once they do hear bars loaded, they have 1 minute to get the start command. That was a good, smooth lift there. She should get that. There's no rule as far as how long they have to actually perform the lift. There is a rule, though, that they have 30 seconds to get off the platform once their lift is completed.
You're still doing this thing, right? Still doing logos?
I haven't been.
You haven't been? Just put them in every once in a while.
Okay, up next is Shauna Allen. Shauna hit her first at 62 and a half. She has increased 5 kilos to 67 and a half. That looked like a good lift to me. Now, while they are waiting for the lights for Shauna, I will thank some of our sponsors here today. We have DC Blocks, Muscle Mindset, and Mountain Man Performance, and that was a good lift for Shauna. Holly Scott is up. Holly's taken a 5 kilo increase from her first. Bars loaded. All right, we are loaded for Nikki Young. Nikki's best bench is 190. Pounds, and this is 176 pounds. A little bit of a grind. We'll see what happens there. Good lift. Okay, we are going to go back to the top of the order, and Cedar is going to make this third attempt. While they're getting the bar ready, I will thank our sponsors, DC Blocks, Muscle Mindset, me, and mountain man performance. Bar is loaded for Cedar. Oh, no, they're not. Sorry, I am. Yeah, there's something wrong there. Bar is not loaded for Cedar. I saw the red plates there, and I don't think so. So they will redo their load there. That happens sometimes. Cedar works at Home Depot and is a full-time student at Colorado School of Mines. She wants to give a shout out to her mom, Gina, for being here for her through everything and her #1 supporter. Bars loaded for Cedar. Okay, she needs to get this. Now, Cedar can still compete in the competition if she doesn't get it, but she just won't get a total. So she needs to stay tight and listen for the commands. Okay, she locks her elbows. Gets the start. Okay, come on, Cedar. Come on, come on. No. Boy, she's trying hard, and she has some great energy. She'll come back and get that. And Cedar's only a teenager. She'll come back and get that next time. I hope she at least has fun today, so she will come back. Up next is Susan Buckman, 75 years old. I think I'm saying her name wrong. Bucknam. I apologize, Susan. Susan's best bench is 40 kilos, and she passed that on her opener, so she is just PRing to death here. She saw a video of some large California ladies lifting and thought, if they can do it, maybe I can too. She's retired. She used to work in high tech and was an elementary school teacher. Bar is loaded for Susan. All right, she pops that up without a liftoff. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. I think she got that. Let's see what the refs say. Good lift for Susan. Awesome. All right, Becky Novak is up. This is Becky's second meet. She's also a level 2 USA boxing official and a grandma of 2. And Becky does not take a lift off. Gets the start command. Oh, she's trying hard. We'll see if the refs give that to her. It's possible there was a little up and down movement, but it was pretty. Yep, they gave it to her. All right, good job, Becky. Becky's best bench is 50K, so that's a PR for her. Competition PR. Up next is Carrie Ellis. Carrie's best bench is 120 pounds, and she, I believe, beat that on her second, so this should be another PR for her. She just started 2 months ago. She loves the rep schemes and being able to have more time for rest and recovery, not only between sets, but also she's sleeping better since starting. She's a teacher and a personal trainer. Looks like a good lift. Let's see what the refs say. Lift is good. Good job, Carrie. So Carrie so far is 6 for 6. The first one so far in this flight. Up next is May. May attempted 62.5 on her second and did not get it, so she's going to try that again. Yeah, we have the wrong. Yeah, wrong lifter. Wrong lifter was getting on the bench there. And one block for May. The lifter can have foot blocks in increments of 5 centimeters up to 20. Yeah, she needs to lock her elbows. Okay, yeah, she's not going to get that. They should just take it. Yep. But that was a good effort, and she'll get credit for her 57.5 on her first. Up next is Angie Chef. Angie is a bench only. She's powerlifted 25 years ago for several years, but recently in the last 6 months have gotten back into it. She works in the finance department of a company called Geostabilization International. They are a geohazard company fixing mudslides. Wow, that's pretty cool. She would like to give a shout out to her husband and her children, Zach, Ashley, and Kayla, for coaching and supporting her and believing in her. Her coaches are Roger Chef and Zach Chef. She trains at Gold's Gym in Greeley. She has 3 grown kids, 5 grandkids, and she enjoys riding Harley motorcycles. And she gets her lift off. Well, you can see her feet. Yeah, she's not going to get that. And her feet were also moving around, which would be an infraction, and that would have been a yellow card. But since she didn't get the lift at all, that's also a yellow card. A full just no lift. The refs will then give the yellow card for the no lift. The next lifter is Alana Healy. This is her 4th meet. She says the world of powerlifting and the people who populate it are the best humans. I agree with you, Alana. Alana is a Masters 1 lifter. She's in her 40s. And she is a lifter with Mountain Man Performance, who is one of our sponsors. Good effort there for a third. Let's see if the refs give it to her. One ref gave her a red, the other 2 gave her a white, so she will get that lift. It is a 2-to-1 majority in powerlifting. Everything is 2-to-1, or 3, if you get 3. Okay, Lexi is up. And while they are getting ready, our last lifter was from Mountain Man Performance. And Lexi is up. She goes to Colorado State University and studies sports medicine. And she will be getting a PR here if she gets this. Nope. Ooh. That is why you have safeties on the sides, just in case the lifters are or not the lifters, the spotters are caught off guard. The safeties there on the sides will save your face. They are called face savers for a reason. Up next is Janet. Janet is a powerlifting mom and a powerlifter in her own right. She has done leaps and bounds in the last year. She's a fantastic lifter. And she is attempting 70 kilos, which I think will be a meet PR. I don't know. Nice, good lift. She should get, yep, good lift for Janet. Good job, Janet. Up next is Shauna Allen. Shauna Allen is also attempting 70 kilos, which is 154 pounds. That looks like a really good third attempt there. And the refs say, yep, good lift for Shauna. Again, at 70 kilos is Rosa Mays. Rosa would like to give a shout out to her son, Santana. He is 8 and is the best around. She coaches with Trish O'Donnell at Prospect Kaboom Strength in Arvada. Her best bench is 150 pounds, so if she gets this, she will beat that. Gets the start command. Looked like a good lift. And the refs agree. Good lift for Rosa. So the spotters and loaders have to throw on a red plate. While they do that, I will mention our sponsors, DC Blocks, Muscle and Mindset, and Mountain Man Performance. The red plates are 25 kilos. The bar is 20 kilos. And the collars are each 2.5 kilos. So a red plate and collars then is going to be 75 kilos. But this one is 82.5, so we've got a black and silver on there as well. Yeah. Oh, wow. I think that spotter might have. Well, she's looking at her coach, so we'll see. I don't know that she was going to get that, but she tried hard, and she got credit for 77.5. Nikki Young is up at 87.5. She made 80 on her second. She's taken a pretty big jump. Let's see if she can get this. Nikki's best bench is 190 pounds, so this would be a PR for her. She started powerlifting when she was 14, but she took a break from 16 to 20, and she started taking seriously again about 6 months ago. And Nikki is not taking a lift off. Oh, yes, she is. She actually has asked for a lift off there. Yeah, that was going to be a tough one for her to get. So, but she'll get credit for her 80 kilos on her second. And now we are going to flight B. And we will start the benches in flight B with Alex Winrich. While we're getting reloaded here, I will thank our sponsors again. Muscle Mindset, and actually the owner of Muscle Mindset is one of our lifters in Flight B. DC blocks, which are the blocks you are seeing on the bench for the foot blocks if people need them. And then Mountain Man Performance is a gym and coaching system that have a few lifters here today. All right, and our first lifter is Alex. Alex's best bench is 95 pounds. She's opening up at 88 pounds, so we'll see how she does here. She's been in a gym since before she can remember. She's CEO of AMW Designs. That looked pretty easy. And the refs say, yep, good lift. Up next, Loie. Oh, I'm sorry, Tina's up. Tina Trong is up. She will be doing 45 kilos. Tina is women's raw open in the 52 kilo weight class. And she is not taking a lift off. She locks her elbows, gets the start command. Looks like a good lift. The bench has 3 commands: start, press, rack. In order to get the start command, the lifter's feet must be flat. The buttocks, head, and shoulders must be on the bench. And the elbows must be locked. I can't remember if I said that. And then they get the start command. The bar must be motionless on the chest to get the press command. And then the rack command, the elbows must be locked. Bar is loaded for Loie. She is hoping to just get a bench here. Looked pretty good to me. She put on her bio that she doesn't have a current best for bench because there's no successful attempt, but that looked like a successful attempt to me, so that was good. Up next is Jacqueline Robertson. I'm hearing people in the audience call her Jackie, so I'm going to guess that she goes by Jackie. She had 3 good attempts on her squat. Looks pretty good to me. Refs say 3 white lights. Good job, Jackie. Ashley Bruce is up, trying 50 kilos. Ashley's an Army warrant officer, and she trains at home. And she's using blocks, which are allowed. Now she's wearing a belt, which is not illegal or unheard of or anything like that. You don't see a belt and bench with raw lifters a lot, but you do see it every once in a while. And all of our lifters today are raw. That looked like a really good lift. The equipped divisions would have a shirt that would help them with the weight of the lift. Up next is Amanda Pirro. Amanda is one of our sponsors. And they're getting the bar loaded for her. Now, just because she's a sponsor doesn't mean they're going to give her the lift. So we'll see how she does. Bar's loaded for Amanda. And she's getting herself a good arch going there. Her best, I don't know what her best bench is. She gets the start command. Looks pretty good. The referees agree. A good lift for Amanda, 62.5 kilos. Our last bench in this group for the morning is 67.5 kilos. Nikki Giron. Her best bench is 165 pounds. She's opening at 149 pounds. Nikki is a singer, songwriter, and saxophonist. Wow. She's been powerlifting a little over 2 years. Her boyfriend started going to Mountain Man and needed some direction. She's asking for a lift off. And looked pretty good. And since I mentioned her boyfriend goes to Mountain Man, I will let you know they're one of our sponsors as well. And Nikki got her lift. It was a good lift. Back to the top of the order for Alex Wenrich. Alex made her first bench at 40. She's taken a 5 kilo jump to 45. Which will be, looks to be a PR for her. She said her best bench is 95 pounds. Bar is loaded. She trains with Chris Piscopo at CP Training. And he's the best trainer in Denver, not only because he is her fiance, looks pretty good. She popped that out, and the refs say 3 white lights. Yep, good lift for Alex. Up next is Tina. Tina went up 2.5 kilos to 47.5. and she's letting the lift-off person know how she likes her lift-off, which is smart for lifters to do every single time. And gets the start command. She's got a nice wide grip there. The lifters are allowed to have their hands 81 centimeters apart. That lift was good for Tina. Jackie Robertson is up. She's waiting patiently. A lot of lifters want to get on they're eager to go, and they get on there before the ref calls bars loaded, but they do have to wait for that. And it doesn't look like she is taking a lift off. Yes, she is. Okay. That looked like a good smooth lift. The refs say 3 white lights. Good lift. Good lift for Jackie. Good job. Up next is Loie. Loie has been powerlifting for years. Her coach is Jackie at Peach Performance. She works at Pfizer in early oncology drug development. That's pretty cool. And she asks for a liftoff. And that was a little bit of a grind, but it looked good. She did do a 5-kilo increase, so her lift is good. 3 white lights. Good job, Loie. From somebody who hasn't had a successful bench, she's doing very well. Up next is Ashley Bruce. If Ashley could give advice to a first-timer, it's listen for the commands, but mostly have fun. And I would agree with that. Ashley wants to give a shout out to her daughter Freya and her son Lachlan. And she trains at home. She made 50 kilos on her first, and she is attempting a 5-kilo jump. I think I hear her kids in the audience cheering her on. That's great. That was a little weird. I think that I wasn't sure if the spotters and loaders were taking the bar or if they were just had their hands really close. Well, yeah, she didn't get that lift. But she can come back and try that again. All right, Amanda Pirro is next at 65. And Amanda is one of our sponsors, and they are loading the bar for her now. Bar is loaded. She did 62.5 on her first fairly easily, and so she's gone up 2.5 kilos to 65. Gets the start command. All right, we'll see if the refs give that to her. It looked like there might have been a smidge of up and down movement, but it was pretty small, so we'll see if the ref saw it or not. Nope, the bar can move horizontally, and that may be what I saw too, that the bar just moved a little horizontally and there was no up and down. And the refs are right there, so they're the ones who can see if there's any up and down movement. If there were up and down movement, that would be a blue card. Up next is Nikki. Nikki got 67.5 on her first. Nikki's best bench is 165 pounds. That looked pretty good, so I'm going to guess on her third she's going to come back and try to beat her best. Yep, good lift for Nikki. Back to the top of the order. Alex Weinrich. Alex says that one interesting thing about her was she had tumors reoccur in her shoulder throughout high school, and the doctors didn't think she'd be able to exert much physical activity after her second surgery. But here she is. Bar is loaded. Nope, she's not going to get that. Yeah. Good effort, though. Good effort. And she'll get credit for 45-second bench. Up next is Tina. Tina is going to attempt 52.5, which is more than her body weight. Yeah, she did not get that. She will get that soon, though, I am sure. Up next is Jackie Robertson, same weight, 52.5. She's trying really hard. Let's see what the refs say here. One thing that has to happen is the buttocks have to stay on the bench. And from this angle, it's hard to tell. I don't know. But she was trying her rear end came up off the bench. I suspected that from this end, but I didn't want to say it for sure. But yeah, that's why she got the red light on that, because her rear end came up off the bench. The the lifter's starting position has to be essentially the same at the end. The only thing that can change really is the feet can slide a little bit. Feet can't come up, but feet can slide. Bars loaded for Loie. Loie is doing great today. She got 92.5 on her squat, and she's got her first 2 benches. Nope, she's not going to get that one. But that's okay. She's got 52.5 on her second. Ashley Bruce is up. Ashley Bruce used to be a long distance endurance runner. So far, our flight B is having a red trend. We got to get somebody to get their third bench here to get some green on the board. All right, she gets the start command. Yep, not going to make that one. All right, Amanda, we need you to get a green light for us here. We've got a bad trend going on missing thirds. Amanda Pirro is up trying 67.5. And Amanda is one of our sponsors. And while they load the bar, I'll go through them again a little bit. We also have DC Blocks as a sponsor. Muscle Mindset is a sponsor. And Amanda Pirro is going to be attempting 67.5 kilos. Bars loaded. We need to get some green on the board here, Amanda. Come on. And she gets that arch going. Nods for her liftoff. Gets her feet set. I think we might have our first good lift of the thirds in flight B. Let's see. Right referee, we're hearing, looks good to me from my end, but I'm far away, so it's not. Good lift, yay! We finally got a good lift on the board. Alrighty, our last bench of the morning, Nikki Giron, who has the best hair of the day so far. Nikki works in radio at the Drop 104.7 KUVO Jazz. They're part of Rocky Mountain PBS. She's a digital marketing producer, and she runs the social media and manages the web. She wants to give a shout out to her mom, Pam, and dad, Joe. Also her best friend and supporter and boyfriend, Addison Sloan. His parents might see this too, so hi, Sherry and Dean. No, I'm not going to get that one. That's a bummer, but that's okay. And Nikki is a lifter at Mountain Man Performance, who is one of our sponsors. Also Muscle Mindset and DC Blocks. Alrighty, we are going to take a 10-minute break.
After all that hoopla.